Greetings and salutations, my lovelies! Bardic Kitty here, back from my hiatus and bringing you a new art video. So, as you can see, today I do have something a little different. I feel like I say that almost every video, but still. Anyway, I am trying out, for the first time ever, working on a, half-toned or, brown-toned paper. Again, as you can see. This was put together for me by a friend who used just some kraft paper, and that's kraft with a K. It refers to the texture and color, I believe. Anyway, kraft paper, which she wrapped around a sturdy piece of cardboard to make kind of this art board with this brown toned paper. So I was trying this out for her because she's done some work on them with pen and with gel pens, and then also with colored pencil, but she was curious to see how the marker would work on it, since she knows that I do a lot of marker work, and so this is me testing that out. And I have to say, when I was drawing it out, this was been a little while back and I finally got around to coloring it, I was really happy with her and how she looked, and it was awesome. And I kind of just threw stars and sparkles in the background, and I felt like I ruined it. But spoiler alert, I actually really kind of like the way that I handled that later on in the piece, and you will see what it looks like at the end, and I'd be interested to know what you think of that. Because right now it just felt like it was busy and just thrown in there. But I actually enjoy it once it's colored. I think it kind of brings it all together in certain ways. Aside from the fact that it is on brown paper, I went in just with my usual coloring techniques. So, layering, light to dark, and then back again with my 3 or so different tones of each color. The hair was a lot of fun to kind of play with and design. I looked up some short haircut style inspiration just with a Google search and kind of put together a couple of things that I liked from a couple of different styles, and I'm really, really digging her whole look is just a lot of fun. I've been enjoying these strappy tops that I've been designing lately, like this one, and there's been a couple in a few of my other videos that I've done as well. It's just an aesthetic that I think I like quite a bit. I also played around with giving her some more piercings. She's got this really elaborate piece of ear jewelry, which right now you can't really see very well, but it's multiple dangling chains that go up the length of her ear. Yeah, that's about everything I have to say right now for the piece. The piece itself, I did want to address the fact that, I had been on a bit of an unannounced hiatus, and I did a little video with a little sketch and chat about that. I've been in a better place with my art, but there is still quite a bit that I feel like I need to work through, where I've lost a bit of why I do art and what I want to do with my art, what it means to me personally. And so I've been working mostly on that, and so there will be, lots of videos like this where I have some line art that's already been done that I'm going to be coloring, and hopefully those soon. I'll be doing more new stuff. I have been doing a lot of sketching, and I've kind of been planning out a couple of things, but I also have commissions that I've been kind of ignoring, and I feel really bad about that. So those are first priority, and I'm going to be doing those first, and you'll see videos of me coloring commissions. So hopefully you'll enjoy those as well. So here I am back to the piece. On the top you can see I kind of did a streaky thing across the front, and that was just to kind of show wrinkles and kind of give the idea that the fabric is kind of tight there, so it's really form-fitting. I didn't really look at a reference for this, so it probably could have been done better, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. And I'm putting in all of these fun metallic pins and stuff that I've gotten, and at this point I can't decide how I feel about the background still, especially since that just the straight up canary yellow I think I used marker just didn't really have a lot of pop to it. So I left it like that for now, and I'm going in with this colored pencil to add in the highlights, because one of the things about the halftone paper is that, you know, you obviously don't have the light that is the white of the paper to start with. And so part of the fun of that is supposed to be bringing out these highlights with like the white gel pens or the white colored pencils or something like that. I do enjoy the way that it looks, and it really makes those highlights pop out. But at the same time, I couldn't seem to get a very smooth transition with it, and I feel like it's a little more textured than I would normally prefer for my piece to be, so that's probably going to just take some practice and some like getting, excuse me, oh, burp, and getting used to the way that that looks. Let me know if you think that it would have been better to just leave it without the white, because when I mentioned it to my friend that I wasn't sure how I liked the texture of it, she pointed out that if you don't go in with the highlights, it's almost more like it has a faded vintage look. And I hadn't really considered that. I just went in knowing that I was going to do the highlights and not thinking of other possibilities. And here I am, you know, quote unquote, fixing the background, and I was a little afraid this would become too overpowering, and I think where I did the star pupils the same color, I think it actually holds it together pretty well. Fun little note about the gel pens that I used for her eyes and the background is that those are actually a type of jelly roller that is UV reactive. So this will like glow slightly, with the stars and the sparkles will glow slightly if exposed to like a black light. It's not like glow in the dark, they don't like hold that glow, but they will like react to the black light. And so I took this into my room after I finished it and played around with that, because I have a black light because, you know, I was a 90s kid and it was cool. So, you know, it's fun. It's just this interesting little thing, and that's part of why it is just so vibrant and bright colors. So this is the finished piece here in a second. I was just like cleaning up where some of the metallic markers and gel pens don't have as clean a line because they go over the line art. I was just fixing that and adding the lines back in, and then I sign it and I am done, and I'm really actually love the way it turned out, and I hope you do too. Next week I am going to try to have a video out, though I do have a convention, so fingers crossed. Alright, and that's it. So I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful week.